Hello, and welcome to the Blue Hour, first Blue Hour of 2024. Give yourselves a round of applause for leaving your homes in January. We're really like, is no one going to come because it's cold, or is everyone going to be so excited to leave their houses and have it be above 5 degrees? So I feel like we're a mixture of that. So come on in, take a seat. We're going to get started here. We want to start with our land and labor acknowledgements. We want to acknowledge that this event is being hosted on the unceded traditional homelands of the Council of the Three Fires, the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations. Many other tribes, such as the Miami, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, Sauk, and Fox, also called this area home. The region has long been a center for Indigenous people to gather, trade, and maintain kinship ties. Today, one of the largest urban American Indian communities in the United States resides here in Chicago, continuing to contribute to the vitality of this city and to celebrate their heritage, practice traditions, and care for the land and waterways. We invite you to explore the unceded ancestral homelands on which you find yourself as well, and to take this moment to honor all who came before us, the Indigenous peoples displaced by colonization, as well as those who built this country through uncompensated and compulsory labor, those enslaved and those oppressed. We honor those who came before and all those who continue to live on this land as we hold this shared space for art and expression. At the Chicago Poetry Center, we believe that poetry illuminates our individual and shared humanity, fueling thriving lives and healthy communities. Our mission is to connect people and poetry, equitably engage poets with communities, and foster creative literacy in the city and beyond. We envision and work to create a fair and verdant world rooted in artistic expression, human connection, and boundless imagination. We do all this through 3 main programs. We work in the schools. There's information about that in the back. We have critical conversations at work, our anti-racism program, and of course, our public literary events, including the Blue Hour reading series, and also Poetry at the Green, which I believe will be happening again this summer. Timothy David, our curator for that, and one of our curators down front. So yeah, lots of information on the back table. The Blue Hour happens 3rd Wednesday of each month. In February, we'll have S. Yarberry and Dan Sully Sullivan. March 20th, Edgar Kuntz and Monica Rico. April 17th, Scott Woods and Alicia Mountain. And on May 15th, we will wrap up this season with Angelique Zobitz and George Abraham. Awesome. Okay, we are gonna start off with our open mic, but I didn't bring the durian full of open mic names up. Brenna, will you please bring me? Yeah. We don't actually know if it's a durian, but it's a spiky bowl. It could be a jackfruit. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I don't know things. I learn things every day here. Okay, so I'm going to draw 5 names from here. Each of those people is going to read 1 poem or 3 minutes, whichever comes first. So if you have a Viking epic, just the first 3 minutes. Cool. Great. We're going to start with Caleb Haydock. Caleb.
Hi, everyone. Wow. Okay. My lava heart, molten and glowing, swirling color enticed, begotten and flowing, it seeks all advice. Yearning pulses, bubble and gush, all bounds refused, more grounds infused, both creation, destruction do blush. It follows and leads, and bellows and needs, burning yet knowing true warmth bleeds. Ironic pores harden the more, losing life and luster to vapor. Lava heart, destined for stillness, stifled rock remains. Thank you.
Thank you, Caleb, for starting us off. I failed to mention what I always like to say, which is we encourage you to self-care. So, poems produce feelings. So at any point tonight, if you feel the need to stand up and stretch or walk out or get a little breath of air, feel free to do so. There's so many names in here, it's hard for me to mix them up. Okay. Let's see, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Alanis. Yes? Alanis. There you are. Okay. If we have time, she'll appear.
Sorry, I don't know what this name is, but I'm gonna try to go really fast. So I'm a hairy bitch, and I'm always gonna be a hairy bitch. I got hair everywhere. My hair grows long, dark, and fast, and in every part of my body but on my head. I can't shave, I can't wax, because the next day it'll be back. And yes, I'm a hairy bitch, and anyone who spent time long enough with me knows that because it's there. And I wouldn't really want it to be any other way. But I didn't always feel the same. There was a time once that I didn't know I had hair. Not that I didn't know, but more that I didn't notice. My hair was always there. My hair was something I didn't know I had to be aware of. Something I started to learn to be scared of. It was middle school, 5th or 6th grade. A cute boy I liked pointed out my legs with my friend, and I sliding down the slide. "You have more hair than me," he says. Next, it was calling me names, trying to get my attention by saying that hairy beast from Star Wars, Chewie, looked like me. I didn't cry or say I was bullied, rolled my eyes, walked away, that kind of thing. It didn't bother me. I knew they were mean because they liked me. More than anything, it was confusing. I started feeling that boys would only like me if I didn't feel like I was pretty. And they made me feel that my hair made me ugly. I started thinking no one would ever love me if I was also the one able to do the loving. This feeling, this thinking was taught. It wasn't something I always knew. It was a mentality that sprouted and grew, like every hair I tried to pluck and cut and shut up. For some reason, boys are taught that they have to tease little girls they like instead of treating them nicely. Little boys turn into men who feel power from feeding off of women's insecurities. If we are living in a male-dominated society dictated by the patriarchy, it makes sense why we never see hairy bitches on TV, movies, and magazines. In high school and college, I started doing this thing where I block out memories and chunks of time that low-key hurt me. Boys were now men, and the men I knew didn't know how to be. Especially in college, the culture of masculinity and toxicity and superiority is so ingrained in me that we didn't even really see it until it slaps us in the face. I remember I had an Instagram page. I went through a hairy bitch phase, where I didn't shave and I let all my hair out and hang. I posted an underwear bra picture of me in my dorm room mirror feeling nervy but good about something so risque. It wasn't until later that I heard, not from a bird but my ex-boyfriend, that one of his friends, while we were fighting in a really I have a smaller dick than you kind of way, said, "Tell your girlfriend that she needs to fucking shave." After that, something changed, but I became not really upset but enraged. I had a lot of anger, I had a little bit of shame, and I used anger to feel something great in me rather than let it depress me. But mostly I was pissed off, because I was just being free, I wasn't hurting nobody, and this comment that reached into my heart wasn't even about me. In the end, it was about power, and the way to get it was about hurting. So what I really ended up learning was that no one really gives a shit about hair. And if they do, that has more to do with them than it does you. Okay, I'm gonna end there.
Give it up for Alana and hair. Keep us warm out here in these Chicago winters. All right. Let's hear from Francis. Francis, friend? Yes? Great.
Farmland, wrought iron sleep, anemia steeps in a cool stint. Sharpness dulls seamlessly, swallowed by fields of mist. The ground is so soft it makes you cry. Heed these vulpine remains, this alluvium lay by. Did you too retreat inside your spine, hopes fossilized? Obsidian specimen crushed, you rest on the bedding plane. Every feeling must ascend three whole steps, an unstable interval, a mesh stent, made weak and narrow from adipose amnion, precipitously unlaid. Your boots are sinking into the dregs of a superfunded beach. Ground swells at your ankles. Think of your mother. What will water break? It's been a long year, you think, weathered. So my fondness is sedimentary. How then would I ever survive an unearthing? The foundations of nugal ambition are reduced to rain evidence. My acidic membrane upon which the specificity condensed and dripped, it coats the site's pools, and whatever flood once rushed through you is now a mere trickle. In the concrete palimpsest, you are embedded. Go, forget your dysplasia. You were always meant to walk here in this way. They poured a sidewalk for you, see? But the street and its asphalt acquiesces to desire paths. Pause in a rebar canyon, pissed. The silt doesn't love you anymore, so it leaves you, and you realize you've grown accustomed to the weight it added to each step. Dreaming now, you turn your head to find yourself standing in a trail of footprints, sure you didn't make them, and sure they belong to you. Amass, dissolve, bereave, until you find you're wading knee-deep in that which you grieve. The current has indeed forced a return to what you thought you could discard. You are followed by your index, a graveyard of inherited substrate striated through layer upon layer of fellow lives, glacial, cascading. Listen, successor. You are living now. Disposition methods are never so clean.
All right, another round for Francis as I strap the picture in. Let's go with a four-folder. Thomas Holton. Give it up, applaud, 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 applaud.
Hey, I'll give a quick backstory for this poem because it's very new. Friday, I was in my apartment, like getting ready to go to sleep, and then I was on the couch and I like looked towards my bed, and on the floor, just like kind of walking along, was like a very tiny little mouse. And we just like looked at each other for a bit, and I was like, okay, I can deal with this. And then I got up, and then it kind of. And I spent an hour like trying to find it, couldn't find it, eventually fell asleep somehow. Then like a couple days later, my landlord sent this guy to like investigate, and he like closed up these holes behind my sink, and he was telling me how there's this construction next to my apartment building, and they stopped, and the rats' nests had to disband, and like they had gotten like a bunch of complaints in other units that the rats had like invaded. So I got sad about that. I wrote this poem. It's called Pouring One Out for Chicago Remy. Captured rats must be taken at least a mile away from the home in which they are captured to make it harder for them to find their way back. But still they try. Familiarity's familiar pull. At the bus stop, me and some strangers are pulling for the rat in the middle of the street to realize what is going on. No spatial awareness, no awareness of life or death. Home. We let out tempered little shrieks and gasps. How the sympathy of strangers and the sound of slamming wheels fail to coexist in the middle of the street. You can only ever hear one or the other. Can you tell me, in which one is home? Speak up, I can't hear for shit in the middle of this street. One of the wheels we made ends his life finally. His violet heart explodes into the air like a wad of chewing gum. Thanks.
That last image, I was like, oh wait, I have to go up and call on someone else. Thank you. Give it up for John.
It's always that like, yes, all the names but mine will be, that's my name.
Yes, Colty.
Hi friends, my name is Colty. I am a species of poet known as a typewriter poet. In case you're not familiar with this art form, it crosses improv and poetry on a typewriter. I'm prompted by strangers to give them my first draft. As you can imagine or assume, peace has been a common prompt lately. So I would like to read you a poem for peace to come. Love is what builds when power collapses. Victory at the heart of those who can still feel. Freedom, a practice, does not rise like the sun, who is too far away to change his patterns, but rather rises like campfire smoke, curling from warmth you made for your loved ones to trust, a hearth for meals prepared with non-urgent abundance, cooperative care, and the humor of the unhunted. Kindness always wins, because love can endure what horror cannot imagine. An act of peace requires time and belief that fires are worth the fuel if they help you feel beauty before anything else. Thank you.
One more round of applause for Colty and all the folks in the open tonight. So good, so good, so good, so good. If your name wasn't pulled, come back next month. Third Wednesday of every month. Put your name back in the durian-shaped jar thing. I'm super, super excited about our features for tonight. We have Teresa Dzieglewicz and C. Russell Price. Some nibbling applause, but you'll applause more later once you know perhaps more. You'll be like, I should have applauded more. I should have done it. But it's fine. So these two poets, in addition to both being poets in residence with the Chicago Poetry Center, because our teaching artists are also genius writers. I was going to say little known fact, but it's probably a widely known fact. Maybe a medium known fact is that our poets in residence are also incredible, incredible writers and humans. And in thinking about these two writers together, I was thinking about how they both do this thing that's, their writing is very different from each other, but they both just like create a world and you just get pulled into it and then you're like ruined. But in like the best way. And then you come out of it and you're like, but I'm back together and better now somehow. And so I'm very excited for them to break you and me and put us back together even better. In some beautiful new disorder. So super psyched for that. Teresa, you're gonna read first. Sorry for not telling you. Teresa Dzieglewicz is a Pushcart winning poet, Black Earth Institute Fellow, a poet in residence at the Chicago Poetry Center, and part of the founding team of, I'm gonna pronounce this so badly, the Mini Wichoni Kazikin Wunspe, Defenders of the Water School, something like that. I really should have checked on that. Defenders of the Water School. Her first book of poetry, Something Small of How to See a River, was selected by Tyamba Jess, also a Chicagoan, for the Dorset Prize and is forthcoming from Tupelo Press. Her first children's book, co-written with Camilla Locke, is forthcoming from Chronicle Books. Please join me in applauding so loudly for Teresa Dzieglewicz.
The only vegetarian at the branding.
his body beneath mine, coarse calf hide filling the hole frayed through my jeans. With my elbow, I press the flat of his cheek onto hoof-stomped dirt and dead grass that tangles like hair. My thick braid hangs across his body, an echo of the rope that dragged him from the aluminum pen where his mother keens and men yell, "She won't eat him, but she sure can wrestle him." For them, I dig my knee deeper, grip tighter, and pull back his jerking leg, turn his belly skyward like screwing open a tobacco tin. The men holler for me. Cody, my classroom aide, who I see usually stuffed in a child's chair, teaching kids to count, pulls the buck knife from between his teeth, gently slices the thin skin of testicles, tosses them in the bucket filled with balls, pale moons rivered with blood. Some days, I want to be a man, a large one, somebody nobody would ever interrupt or call pretty in dwindling gas station light. Someone you would never follow in a car, hanging out like a loose tooth, yelling things I could do with my mouth. Cody's brother, in a beige baseball cap, pulls the iron from the branding barrel. For him, hot metal is money, a job, the weave of the land. But I, who catch spiders delicately between magazines and juice glasses, walk them to the prettiest bushes. I, who once bathed a chicken, massaged her hip for hours to free an egg. I, who teach my students power is for sharing a rope to pull each other up. I'm the one proud, hollering now as he touches iron to skin. Only in the shower that night, as the scent of burnt flesh, charred fur, unweave from my hair, spiral like smoke around my wrists, do I wonder what wire fences I've let grow in my chest? Do I wonder how to be the woman I say that I am? For dinner, Cody's mom made everyone steak. My PB&J on the side of the tray, white bread already absorbing the blood. In the cramped yellow kitchen, his brother throws testicles into hot oil. "Miss D," he yells, "you can't leave a branding without eating some balls." "They're free range," Cody offers, because I want anything but weakness. I slide the hot chunk of flesh into my cheek. It resists the point of my teeth. It's rubbery, I say, hard as fuck to chew. Thank you. I wasn't planning on reading that one tonight, but Marty told me that you all did it for the workshop. That folks did it for the workshop, and I wanted to read it. This is so beautiful. Thank you so much to Marty and everyone at the Chicago Poetry Center. Woo! Thank you so much to Pamela. I can't wait to read with Russell Price. I am reading, but I can't wait to hear Russell Price. All right. Some of the things that are going to come up in the poems tonight are motherhood and also being adopted. So that just might be useful for this next poem. Stranger, thank you for giving me this body to break. On Lakeshore Drive, for the eyes I turn to the radio as the lady in the red SUV slams on her brakes. Thank you for bringing me into this world where my Pontiac crumples like crepe paper,
where the airbag's white fist pummels my chest and burnt talcum erupts like confetti, stains my clothes with the scent of singed hair. Thank you for my skin against bug blood stained glass as it shatters in the strobe of the headlights, for my legs that still stand, stumble to the cracked yellow line of my lane as I mark its bandage of snow with my heels. Stranger, I want to thank you for the college party that led to my conception. Cramped bedroom, I can only imagine how maybe your hands, cold as comets, curved against the bend of his back. How maybe your tongue moved in his mouth in this moment that leads to your body, weaving velvet layers of blood into my tongue, the cold bones of my hands. Those small strands of DNA that swirl in your cells, replicating to muscle, becoming the thing that moves me. Stranger, I lie in the ambulance when asked for my medical history. I watch the wiper break geode of city again, the snowflakes reform again and again, and I say, I know nothing about my birth mother. But I mean, I've learned no name, have no language for how we've never sat across a table, fingers greasy with fries, how it wasn't you who read to me each night, taught me to make pizzelles and Sunday gravy, rushed to the emergency room. But still, somehow, I know you by the beautiful facts of my fingers, my cracked sternum, the skin of my chest purpling with fireworks of blood. So my son is going to feature in some of these poems going forward, and he has some very specific and eccentric interests. And there was a period in which he was obsessed with the dollar store, and every single day he didn't want to buy anything. He didn't need anything. He just wanted to walk the aisles of the dollar store and appreciate its splendor. Shells, or nursing after a trip to Dollar General. He loves the bulk soap most. So many solutions for floors, cars, dishes, hands, every familiar surface of his small world. Their innards glow, viscous and neon, inside their plastic skins, transfigure the aisles, line them with lanterns. The small coins of his hands touch the bottles of Dawn, Tide, gently as something alive. And I guess they once were the fetal curl of a snail shell, the delicate flagella of algae, the luminescence of pelagic worms. The rigs need to drill deeper, drink further each year to find the sticky reserves of these old lives, turn them disposable, place them in our hands. I hate it here. Among the camp chairs leaching chemicals from their slats, the stacks and stacks of styrofoam, the flimsy toys I too have bought. I hate most of all the diapers I throw in my cart because the cloth ones leaked and soaked his sheets, and besides, whenever we drag our laundry down to the building basement, he cries in the carrier. But each time I almost say, no dollar store today, baby. I picture him duck-footed and wobbly, words still open windows in his mouth, in the satisfaction of naming all the things that can clean. I hold him now, and he drinks deep from the well of me. How hard nursing was for so many months. The way he would chew with stony gums when the milk ran dry. And how always, again, I offered my breast, told him to take what I could. He looks up, says, "Mommy's nipple looks like a seashell." He did say that. Some days, how feral I feel, what terror not to know what deep places I will wound for him. Shout out to Dawn. Where is Dawn? Okay, all right. Shout out to Dawn, who was at Community of Writers with me, and this poem takes place at Community of Writers. I'm at a writing retreat on Father's Day, and you send me pictures of you and our son assembling the Magic Fairy House book and activity kit, TM, he handpicked as your gift. "Daddy loves magic houses," he said. I don't think I ever said this so clearly, but there was a moment, or rather, a necklace of hurt wings after his birth, when I thought we were too broken. Like the ponderosa I saw on the mountain today, only fragile scales of bark remaining, interior gutted by lightning. In those days, each minute, each chore, each moment of being a body alone, counted between our walls like a metronome. This age 7 craft kit is really at the edge of my abilities, you type. Our son is insisting the fairies need no heads, and in your photos, the tiny pine craniums knock gently against their paper cottage. We had to reinvent the idea of a window, of a door, as if we'd never walked together across a threshold. I know now you hold our child's hands, gently move each tab into place. It doesn't have the ladder or chandelier, but I'm very proud in all other regards, you say. And look at this craft. The gorgeous acephalic fairies twirling imperfectly in petal skirts, settling in their new home. I should say ponderosas need fire to survive. And perhaps it's just the ice machine in the video's distance, but I swear I hear a whoosh of wings. And who needs a ladder when we have built our own impossible, improbable flying machine? Strange and headless and gossamer and winged and ours. Opening my original birth certificate beside the Chicago River. The government envelope that shores the photocopy that holds your name. How could I even touch it? You've always been all this. Bee-stitched echinacea, petal skirt and concrete planters, blue heron thin as a dress hook, and the waste stench of the water. So small, so legible, your signature so on the line. You were 19. The minnows appear and disappear like the pulse in my finger. This is what I touch of you. The spikes on the buildings where the birds can't nest. Stranger, tell me, what do I want from you? I'm reading about Great Lakes extinctions, stories pearled in the never mouths of the clams. Why want this risk? Someone else who can't quite love me as it turns out I am. Abad after another school massacre. Your sheets are threaded with stars, shooting across their cartoon sky. But here, at least, they stop, halted mid-trajectory. I'm learning to ask for so little. All I want is not to have to bury my head in the cosmos of your curls to fall asleep. Your four, your body a soft bag of sleepy questions. What was Hamea's name before it got collided? What musical instrument sounds the most like a ghost? I told someone once you want to be an astrobiologist, and you corrected me to say that you already are. I know it's true. You scan the stars at night for breath, believe someone is living on planet 9, and one day you will see them. Your body heavies into mine. Lungs click into a deeper and slower gear. You are as small as a galaxy in my arms. I sleep here all night in the twin bed, swearing I won't anymore, as if I could hold your breath, my body, your locket, my body, your satellite, as if you weren't already your own solar wind, as if I could protect you. In the morning, we adjust your bunny hat like a helmet. You will go to your school, and I will go to mine. I kiss you. We zip your coat, imagine your journey to other worlds. The teeth clench firm as fatigues. Say, astronaut, I kiss you. Okay, so the other thing my son is really interested in, he does not directly appear in this poem, but he has been obsessed with wastewater treatment since he was very small. We were the stars of Family Day at the wastewater treatment plant, where he walked up to the career table and was like, how old do I need to be to work here? They were like, not 4. And then he was like, I think I could help you with your microbes. So anyway, this is all to say, if you're ever looking for a children's book on wastewater treatment, I have a list. Wastewater treatment is something I know a lot about. I'm also obsessed with the Chicago River, so our interests intersect here. This poem, honestly, I don't know if it's too gross, so you all can tell me after. Also, did you know our wastewater treatment plant in Chicago is one of the largest in the world? Yeah, it's actually kind of cool, the Stickney Wastewater Treatment Plant. Ode to the Stickney Wastewater Treatment Plant. Let me love the soil pipe, waiting with open hands for our flush, the suck of our drains. Let me love the neighborhood sewer, where the waste of the luxury studios and halfway house and women whose arms overflow with succulents and Al Capone's old jazz joint and the Buddhist temple and the kids cackling on rusted scooters joins mine. Let me love the intercepting sewer, where the whole city's water, the whole of our excrement finds each other, our DNA jumbling on the journey toward treatment. Let me love the filters, catching baseballs and disposable wipes, the settling tank and the aerated grit tank. Let me love the cilia, named for eyelashes blinking through the water. Let me love the water bears, their trudging resilience, their absence a signal. Let me know none of this is perfect. The overflows of heavy rain that loose our shit on the river. Let me remember we are so far away from what the water deserves, so far away from what our children deserve. And let me love anyway. The place where even during the years our bodies stayed inside and could not touch, the insides of us met, were cleansed together. Thank you.
One more round of applause for Teresa Dzieglewicz. I'm so happy you read that last poem, and I'm so happy that this is archived, because I have a friend who also has I think he's 5 now, 5-year-old child who's obsessed with wastewater treatment.
Oh my gosh.
So
Honestly, put us in touch
children
with
of
a lot
the
of recommendations.
Yes, children of the future, right? Great, yeah. So I will have to send them a link to that. Great. Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. C. Russell Price is originally from Glade Spring, Virginia, but now lives in Chicago. They're a Lambda Fellow in Poetry, a Ragdale Fellow, a Windy City Times 30 under 30 honoree, an essayist, and a poet. They're the author of a chapbook, Tonight We Fuck the Trailer Park Out of Each Other, and the full-length collection, Oh, You Thought This Was a Date? Apocalypse Poems. Their current project is Bisquick Seance Poems. They are on the editorial and curatorial boards for the Ragdale Foundation, Story Studio Chicago, and the Anarchist Review of Books. Russell is a poet in residence with the Chicago Poetry Center. Applause.
Thank you. It's downhill from here. Thank you, Marty, again. You're an angel. Thank you, Chicago Poetry Center. You help pay my bills. And thank you, Teresa. I love reading with you. It's an honor. So some of you don't know it, but Teresa and I meet up like once a month and write, and it's a form of accountability because I won't do shit without someone watching over me. Can you hear me okay? Sorry, I want to make sure. I got people watching from home, so it's really exciting. So Teresa and I meet up. So this is the first time I've ever read some of these poems in public, except for Teresa hearing the draft in a coffee shop, in which I'm like crying in public, and I'm like, what do you think? Did my thank yous. If you came here to hear language always, like trigger warnings, language, drugs, sex, alcohol, rock and roll, Western wear. So get that out of the way. So if you came here to hear doomsday fuck poems, unfortunately I'm not reading any of those, and only new work from a book about a blue horse that's a ghost, and a cowboy who is also a ghost, and the beloved, and it explores like spiritualism, which was founded as a response to like man's inhumanity to man during World War I, and this idea of like shit happens, I wish we could talk to ghosts. So to start my reading, I have 2 quotes. Richard Brodigan. It's an old story. Someone is born, someone lives here, someone goes away forever. And then another quote by the president and CEO of GLAAD. More people say they have seen a ghost than know a transgender person. Skunked, a seance. What business does anyone have in New Jersey? Dreaming a field of just black cats? In Yankee territory, there's a dead cowboy with cocaine every other bar. We got our money hunger honest at the rock climbing gym where my dealer and my ex make eyes at grips and check the tightness of each other's harnesses. When there are too many stars and not enough sky, there are just two simple questions to ask your soul. Why are my pants down? And where did this burrito come from? My ghost cowboy boyfriend with a severe amphetamine problem likes to call me Sugar and go on long hunts for predators of the poor. Before he saddles up Bisquick, his ghost horse, he gives me the see-through look of, well, just look at you, getting fucked up in the head by another stupid man. At dusk, when Bisquick and my man with the drip return, skulls of debt collectors echoing behind like a wedding getaway car, he grabs my hips with his ghost hands and says, drag it through the garden, Sugar. And whatever that means, I do it. It's incredibly easy to clean up a ghost dirt, to walk away from a man who lasted longer than one night, than a month, than longer. I was lying when I said it didn't hurt. These men, always seen and going towards a light with their big-dicked butter faces. Him and Bisquick looking back at me all spent and bordered by a halo, saying, I'm so sorry, we have to go now. And me, snarking back, you think I'm gonna give you any time? You don't have a lot of land up there. And Bisquick takes off back towards me, dragging the spoked up son of a bitch. By his nays, he says, like Tupac says, revenge is the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. We are just bad boy killers. Me, Bisquick, my spectral domestic terrorist. He tips his leather brim. I stop him. I say, I am at the point of my life where in the movie, the battered woman is smoking over a motel rail, looking at the sea and an abandoned Arby's parking lot. And she's getting up, and she's thinking, and her life changes from there on out. So the next one is about, because it's just gonna keep the momentum and it's gonna get fucking weird. In researching spiritualism, I found out a lot of horrible things about mediums. Punk, earthbound. The cure to nightmares, according to a German study, is 31 words memorized. Nothing particular like red parrot tulip or mid-century modern green mist commode. But a nice day, a good morning. 1 year into the study of PTSD and dreams, the subjects recite the list in German in their sleep. The worrying of the MRI, trying its damnedest to chart the subconscious, the sleeper spasming toward visions and amputations. It's dangerous to see what suffering looks like these days. When the medium came to the poorest town this side of the tracks, he walked by windows right before sunrise and peeked into bodies thrashing behind flowered window boxes, hands scratching floods of rats away from a face. He scoured the cemetery for the warmest grave and made a house call where the body had been. And the grief sick would give the kitchen sink if they could. They would give this man a house that will never feel right again. Behind a single red light bulb, he takes their shaking hands and into a room you show yourself. Seance on the Amtrak. Everyone is a little alone in Winona, Minnesota. Even stoplights. A spotted cow glares from across a field where teal pumpkins team the fence line. I came here to love you a little bit less, cowboy. Have mercy on this rude girl who doesn't want to be left with just heartache and a bar tab. All my friends are wasted and laughing inside, I say to the moon. And she says, when did you stop noticing how someone is always yelling about something in a house just within earshot? Speak the burn out of this and just text him. The moon barks. Like she's a stud on a boot on my throat. The moon in Minnesota is pushy and messy. She sells ammo and used DVDs. She's the queen of what ifs. She starts with a wet red lip and works her way down to my elbow deep in the earth. We should have a three-way, I say, to the moon and the cowboy of the month. We could sit in silence in the Amtrak observation deck and drink smuggled pursed beers. We could go to a small town to be strangers in love with the moon. We could sit near the Mississippi and you would look at me like you always look at her. New Year's Day or day 18 of No Contact and Rocket Man by Sir Elton John is crushing me. This is a song about a witch. How I greet the day, tits first, ass up, little cough, fists clenched around rosemary, chanting, just gained some confidence already, Irene. I waited for you here forever, as long as it took, and still I became a spring break bitch. Anything that could come out of a body comes out anywhere here, the scene of, I let this get too far, and damn your love, damn your lies. I came to be amazed, and I wasn't. Those little town blues strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town, phoning a cab because my stomach feels small, and when I miss you, I take that little shit out back with a switch. I knew that topless lady had something up her sleeves. And you agreed, shaking your furry tits like a big old furry titty dancer. I'm quitting the band. I'm moving out. We met when we were almost young, and though I live for the funk, I will die for the funk. There's gonna be a party when the wolf comes home. The walls are bleeding fire termites, and you're out there doing what cats do. It's gonna take you years to recover from me. God loves me most when I'm singing. And I heard from the devil, fuck you and fuck your mama too. Look at you. Look at you getting looked at like this, putting my bra on with your coyote teeth, my phone to your throat in a chokehold. Gender disappointment. The morning we were under a fire watch, I sent men through the shredder. I got a little milk dresser in my pocket. It gets dirty by morning. About me, I say acid. I say big, obviously. Work per sniffs. Be so bad, they have to have it. He stops me and says, stop me if you've heard this one. And he does. In public, me and my homie go all into it. The center admission, his tongue on my starburst like an automatic car wash, on the edge of a new minivan, on deck for a solid yell. He says, I've got quite the talent. You wouldn't know it just by looking at me, but this body fucks real good. Like classic rock of 1971, like hearing classic rock of 1971 in 1971. Like summer. Like something of a hunting party's dream bait. I got something you'd steal a horse for. Cowboy breakup poem. Now, no one's gonna write about you. That's it. Who the fuck you are? You could write a one-line poem. My imaginary boyfriend has sustained another tennis-related elbow injury. Someone's gotta love the shit men of this distillery world. I will not die with a beat up heart like all these stupid sons of bitches. If you're making dust, you're going too fast. When flooded, turn around, don't drown. In the right light, I'm gonna love myself so good. Is this worse than the elbow contusion from scrambling cliffside in Joshua Tree? Tomorrow, I'm gonna wake up an inventor and save someone else first. Drafts, blue ink, flat pencils. I gotta find something better. A spot is a spot until it becomes a significant place. For a day, I thought I only had 3 months and thought only of you, Shabari. What a gift to be so miserable in the world of money. I'm not gonna die in LA. shaming my grandparents eating canned biscuits. Busy isn't an excuse, I say to the shirtless man I'm staring at right in the tit. It's an act against patriarchy. What keeps me up? ABBA getting famous, writing love ballads to short kings. Good Lord, in the house of Gucci, why can't I? I went with it anyway, telling rich people their ugly flowers in yards are beyond beautiful. They love to hear me say fabulous like a catchphrase. Fact, men, real or imaginary with zero sex life, have such elegant headboards. Oh, my little bumper crop, how far away is down the line? I'm all ears. How will this injury affect our acoustic set we're booked to play this Thursday at the abandoned co-op? Can you still strum with me? And can I still bill you as my creative partner, but not partner in the way neoliberals use it, but in the way real estate agents who fuck each other in fresh-baked, cookie-scented, empty apartments with some strangers lint in their beards. Fuck. Can I bill you like that? Go ahead, hate me, but I'm gonna talk about your cock with nuance. Oh, anteater, Fenty lipstick necklaced with sweat and tight curls. I'm holding down the #1 spot on your current wife's hit list. She knows I'm not the only one who's got this lonely, who loved you, repelled, and reaching. When I said, go get your man, bitch, you can get fucked too, I meant I'm leaving you in your rose gold ass hair. I'm at the train station, burning your letters in cigarette bins surrounded by Nick Fitters. You thought I needed you? Oh, I hope there's a horse in this poem. Oh, here it comes. Just a few more. Thank you all again. It's cool as shit, so I appreciate you.
I'm gonna swap out your mic because I think the batteries might be going out.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, hold that for a second. There you go. All right. Nothing to see here, nothing. Just a normal kind of day. Okay.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Okay, Seance at the gay bar, or no one sucks dick with hate in their heart. Also, my parents in Virginia are watching. What's up, Mom and Dad? Anyway, Seance at the gay bar. After the heart attack snow clears, the men line up as a welcome to Brick City. I'm wading through it to find a way to quiet all blue-faced voices. After a long drag, I say someone better give me a bobby pin and a fresh stick of Big Red. The mustache and the mutton chops stare in disbelief as I say, I'm not ready for the hard moments of my life to happen. Do not touch the party lights or the DJ. Under all this, I'm no tramp, but I'm not a lady. I'm just somebody with poverty dreams and a weather-dependent class status. I'm confusing pink clouds with smoke and men who can't change, but according to my psychic, keep meeting me in life after life. I'm tired of this backlit room full of thumbs touching me like I'm holy, licking me like I'd melt. The gay code and the angel numbers agree. Fuck that scrub man who keeps meeting me in ripe gardens, who comes at night coupled with a hangover. I don't want to manifest anymore terrible men who ghost like a job, who always have suspicion on like sample cologne. The harsh and bitter truth, it is all research, it's not fucking. When I said I loved you, I didn't mean forever. In the marsh field of grief, teeming with red cosmos, I want to stop missing you. This is my last poem, so it's kind of an upper, I guess. So, writing about ghosts and like, there's only 3 active people on the current project. There's the Cowboy, who's only called Cowboy, because fuck him, he doesn't deserve a name. Bisquick and the Beloved. And so I had to figure out, how does Bisquick come into the world? So this one's called Bisquick Origin Poem. Straight to the point. You would have fit in a guitar case in a getaway car. You were the size of a ferret being shown to an egg. In the back seat, you shook your baby teeth out like a tablecloth, stuck your head out the window like a widow on a blind date at sea. You're the product of joyful sleaze and a Virginia Slim factory incident. When you galloped out the field, you left a Woolworth blue sheen on every stalk you shoulder checked. When I put my palm to your mouth, you sang, "When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. He wasn't much to look at, but he's a free rambling man." This is a poem about a blue ghost horse with a past life, a head for numbers, a body for sin. Bisquick asks if I know any songs about Ohio on our drive to the ghost ranch filled with mustached background actors. When he stumbles out the back door of my stepmom's Miata, he kicks the door shut like a fucking horse would kick a door shut. He wants shoes? My baby's getting shoes. We go cowboy shopping together. The men line the stable with their heads stuck in feed sacks filled with Nicorette and Christmas lights. We admire, we inspect. When Cowboy looks us in the eyes, we both gasp. Cowboy dusts off his fuck me pumps. Bisquick calls shotgun as our chuck wagon whips out the Ghost Ranch Drive. Cowboy's in the back seat blissed out on salt and pepper, his hat on his chest like a target. I white knuckle the wheel and hand them both a road beer. Bisquick says reincarnation makes you want to get sober, but like he loves him a cold Lone Star. Cowboy is slurring by the time we merge with the service road. In the rearview mirror, Bisquick and I are falling in love with Cowboy as he plucks away on his 6 strings. He's writing a love song about Ohio. He whistles, then croons the melody. There's nothing special about me. Lord, I furiously tried. Lord, did I try to make everyone see how beautiful this was? Thank you.
Keep that applause going for the hardest working interpreter. Yes, oh my goodness. Do either of y'all feature folks have books for sale? Did you bring anything? No, nothing?
Just handshakes.
Just handshakes for sale. Handshakes for sale. Great.
20 bucks is 20 bucks.
Instead, you know, you can still approach the features. Yes?
Oh, my book will be ready for pre-order hopefully in the next month or 2.
Yes. Pre-order the next month or so. See Russell Price, you can get their books, you know, on the internet, that sort of jazz. Okay, couple quick things.
Pre-order link on our socials too.
Yes, we'll post that. Smart peoples. Okay, feel free to hang out for a little bit. There's beer, wine, water for sale in the back. We also have some QR code links. Our silent auction just went up yesterday. There's some incredible stuff on there, including like restaurant certificates, Lollapalooza tickets, all manner of things. So many massages. We know a lot of massage therapists, and also we need massages. So check that out. Get your bids in soon. Make sure to sign up for the mailing list if you're not already on it. That is in the back. Huge thanks to the Chicago Poetry Center staff for all of your work making this happen. Hi to folks at home. Thank you for tuning in. those are my announcements. Please stay warm. Stay in here for just a little bit, make a new poetry friend, and we will see you next month.